The following is a fourth-hand production.
Yeah, you need to get that shit out quick. That shit is not gonna...
I swallowed mine to not be the
I'm
smacker
doing that
in
on
here.
purpose.
That shit is not gonna fly.
Not gonna work.
What? No! You suck! Oh my god!
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to What the Suck. I am Chris.
And I am James, and I am looking at this motherfucker like he done lost his mind.
I have lost my mind because this movie's about to make me fucking insane.
It was your pick, bitch.
That's why, because I'm an insane motherfucker. Yeah, so before we get into that bullshit, we're super excited to have a very, very special guest with us tonight. Her name is Ash Tronomy. She is the wonderful person who created our graphic art.
Yes, and thank you very much. Fantastic work.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, I am the Ash Tronomy, and I am their graphic designer as well as a Houston area photographer for boudoir, all your little sexy pictures, pin-up, pretty much anything you could think of with a camera, I got you for it. And that's the Bella Rush Photography. That's me.
Can you make me look thinner?
Absolutely. I got you in Photoshop all day long, baby.
All right.
You're perfect, just like you are.
Can you make me look like Harrison Ford?
Give me a few hours, I got you covered.
Only a few hours. Damn, you're good. You are good. All right, yeah. So you agreed to come on the show because you did such an awesome job with the art that we wanted to have you on.
Thank you so much.
And you, like us, have a love of horror.
Absolutely.
Good, bad, in between. So saying that. Okay, I need to throw out a few things. First, what's the scariest movie you've ever seen?
Oh, that's a tough one. Mm-hmm. It's like ask me which kid is cooler.
They're both equally cool.
I think the scariest movie I have ever seen would It Follows. Does that count? I just watched this and I was thinking, good horror movies, no new ones are any good, and I dug it. It was really, really good. Nice. Got all tingly inside for sure.
Well, and that's a very appropriate term because that whole movie is an anagram.
Absolutely, a metaphor.
Metaphor for STDs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a very good description.
Very you got tingling inside.
Down in the parts.
Exactly right.
Okay, so what is the worst horror movie you've ever seen?
Worst horror movie I've ever seen.
One that you were super excited to see, and then you went and saw it, and you're like, this is the biggest piece of shit I've seen since my last bowel movement.
Okay, I was really, really stoked to see The Bee Eating You. What's the guy?
Oh, Jeepers Creepers.
That's the one. So I loved Jeepers Creepers.
Okay.
Loved it. And then Jeepers Creepers 2 definitely let me down. So we were all stoked to go see it, and I don't know. I didn't have the fire, the love that the first one gave me. So yeah, I'd definitely say that.
I think it has to do with like the cast, because the first two you had
you
the
got
brother
Derry,
and sister,
yeah.
right? And it's much more personable. Whereas now the second one you had the whole busload of kids who just annoyed the shit out of you.
Exactly.
But that's why I like the second.
Is that why you liked it? You got more.
Yeah, you got to kill them little bastards.
That's true.
So
that's true.
Did y'all know that the beginning of Jeepers Creepers was based on an actual event?
What? No.
Yes. There is an actual event where it was a couple, not a brother and sister. They were driving down a road, and they were chased by someone in a truck who was doing the exact same thing that Jeepers Creepers was doing, and it passed them. When they were driving down this road and they came upon a farmhouse, they saw the exact same thing they saw in the movie, which is the man was moving something in a bloody sheet down a hole.
Holy mother of God.
Turned out to be somebody, I think, killed his mother or his wife or whatever.
Yeah, that tracks.
But that whole first part is based on an actual event that happened.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Makes it even creepier.
No, man, no.
What?
Bad out of hell, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Nah, that's a piece of shit. So that means, okay, so what is your favorite horror movie that you can think of right now?
Now, it may be nostalgia, but I have always had such a deep love for the Sleepaway Camp.
Oh, yeah.
I love Sleepaway Camp. I remember getting the box set for like my 12th birthday and being super stoked.
You sent me a picture of that. Yeah, it's amazing.
It was all about that. All about that life, yeah.
So that's your favorite series?
That's my favorite series, yeah.
Okay.
I was really not looking forward to seeing the new Scary Stories movie. I don't know if you guys have covered this or not. Okay, so my son, who I take his word as gold, he went and he's like, it didn't suck. You should really check this out. It was legitimately good.
Was it?
Like surprisingly,
I'm super excited
legitimately
to watch it.
good.
Yeah.
So,
Somewhere around this motherfucker.
Only one poop
Yeah,
emoji
well, see,
for that one.
that's just it. See, most movies like that, especially if they have a decent score on Tomatoes,
For sure.
yeah, they don't make this show.
Oh, you know the little "Don't You Laugh When the Hearse Goes By" song from the Scary Stories
Yeah,
book?
yeah, yeah.
I used to sing that thing like constantly. It's actually in the movie.
Oh, nice.
It's like a music box too. Oh my god, it's so good.
Oh,
You would
nice.
love it.
Okay, so then we were just talking, and you'd mentioned It Follows.
Yes.
Is that okay, so no, I guess Scary Stories would be the newest horror movie.
Yeah.
Is that really horror, though? Because...
I mean, I'd call it. It's definitely not gory.
No, it's not.
You know, but you do have all the elements of horror there. So yeah, I'd call it that.
Oh, okay, all right. So,
Very self-aware. You know.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see it. I can't wait to
Yeah,
see it.
it's really good.
I love the whole series, so I'm super stoked to check it out. What are we going to fucking do now? Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about the movie. All right.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
So, you are joining us.
He forgot what the hell we were here
Yeah.
for. Shit.
Every fucking week. I've done this like 6 months now. I still don't know the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah,
All
all
right.
right.
You'll get it. You'll get it.
At some point. All right, so you decided to join us on a night when we were watching I think only our second bad movie that was ever released in theaters.
Oh wow.
First one was
Fancy.
The Sleepwalkers.
no. Oh, okay, so this would be the third then, because
So
yeah,
third.
Sleepwalkers was the first one was Bye Bye Man. Remember that piece of shit?
Oh,
Bye
jeez.
bye man.
Oh god, it was
The
horrible.
Bye Bye Man.
Shouldn't look that one up. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so everything else we've done has been either independent or straight to video or straight to streaming at
Right
this
on.
point.
Or
So,
should have been straight to the toilet.
yeah, came straight from hell.
Yeah.
So today's movie, yay, is Exorcist II: The Heretic, the disappointing, horrible, shitty follow-up to one of the best movies of all time.
Yeah, I actually myself, I could not believe how in the fuck they could take such an awesome classic and just run a fucking train through it like this.
So this was one of those movies that was shitted out immediately after the first one
Exactly.
became so
Yeah.
successful.
Get that money.
Like Blair Witch 2 and all those other ones where they didn't have a story, they didn't have an idea where to go. They said, look, this first one was gangbusters. We got to make that money. Let's shit something out in less than 2 years and just call it a sequel.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, you look at her on the cover and she looks like she's 10 years older than she was in the
does.
other movie.
Yeah. I mean, she's just got that young looking, that.
Now, when
baby.
the original,
Lose the
I
ingenue.
should be ashamed. When was the original released?
I believe it was 73.
73?
70.
Okay, so about 4 more years. Okay.
Yeah, let me see.
That's not too bad.
So she's about 16 in this movie then, because I think she's about 12 in the original.
Yeah, 12 or 13.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you can just destroy something so perfect, so holy, completely destroyed.
Yeah, first one was 73.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one was 70. What?
77.
77. Okay.
Roll with it, brother.
All right, so
13%.
yeah, on Rotten Tomatoes, this has a tomato meter score of 15% for the critics, 13% for the audio has a 13% for the audience score, so it definitely fits in line with the shit of what we watch.
Shitting it up.
36,000 votes, too.
Yep.
Ooh.
Holy
So,
hell.
Exorcist II: The Heretic is a 1977, so 4 years after the original. American horror film directed by John Borman and written by William Gold Hart. It stars Linda Blair, Richard Burton, Louise Fletcher, Max von Sydow in brief scenes, Kitty Wynn, Paul Heinried, and James Earl Jones as a man who is a mantis who turns into a leopard.
Wow.
It is a sequel to the yada yada. We all know that shit. And the film is set 4 years after the original film, which, as you said, makes her 16 years old, even though in the movie she looks about 20.
Yeah.
Who is recovering from her previous demonic possession. The film was a critical failure at the time of its release. Yeah.
And it ain't gotten any
And
better
no, it
since.
has not gotten any better.
No.
It's often considered not just the worst film in the series, but one of the worst films of all time.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's a Razzie there.
Yeah. So,
So
What's
in
it
other
all
words,
about?
instead of aging like fine wine, it's aging like milk.
this is one of those where when it came out, it was underappreciated, and it's never gained any kind of cult status because it remains underappreciated. It's not something that you watch later like, okay, this might have been better than I thought it was. No, every time you watch it, it gets a little bit worse. A little bit worse.
Just
a
garbage.
little bit worse.
Yeah,
essentially.
that's no.
Okay, so raise a hand. Who's seen this movie?
If I did see it, it's about 20 years ago, maybe 30.
Okay.
It's been a very, very long time. you can basically say, I don't have any fucking clue
All right, so it's
what
gonna
to
be-
expect anymore because
be
I don't
fresh for
remember
you.
any of it.
Me
Okay.
either.
You either?
Nothing. Not even a trailer.
You've seen it though?
No, have not.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh my god, none of y'all have seen it?
Nope.
Y'all in for some shit.
Oh, joy.
Oh
Like
my
I said, there
gosh.
might be a reason I don't remember it. though.
Yeah, I mean,
Just block that one out.
a lot of times traumatic events will cause the memory to block things out.
Exactly right.
Yeah, so I think that's what happened with this. So what is this piece of shit all about? Well, it's about 2 hours too fucking long, first of all.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I know. I went there. Sorry. Bizarre nightmares plague Regan MacNeil, a.k.a. Linda Blair, 4 years after her possession and exorcism. Has the demon returned? Probably not. I think she's just insane. And if so, can the combined faith and knowledge of a Vatican investigator played by Richard Burton and a hypnotic research specialist played by Louise Fletcher free her from its grasp? Employing production design and special effects that are dizzily exhilarating, and a supporting cast of Max von Sydow, Paul Henreid, and James Earl Jones of compelling distinction. Oh, Jesus. They're really trying
they're
to sell this
getting it in there.
motherfucker. Yeah. I mean, bend over and take it. Director John Borman draws us into the tangible experience of evil. We fly with the demon, feel the African landscape vibrate, and get engulfed in the terror of swarming locusts. Locusts are never scary. As Exorcist II, the Heretic, weaves its fascinating, frightful spell. That
Wow.
is the biggest load of shit that I've heard
Yeah,
since Trump's last speech.
My gag reflex is starting to trigger
Yeah.
here
It's
a
Coming
little
up.
bit.
It's coming
Yeah.
up there. Mhm.
That makes you think you're about to watch something awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And even the little title there says, "An ages-old evil returns for another round," and it sounds awesome. It is nowhere near that at all.
I mean,
It
high
is-
five to the Blair writer, though. You know what I mean?
No
Really doing their
kidding.
job.
That is fucking amazing. Now, let's get into our rating system. And if this is your first time listening, we rate our movies on a 1 to 5 scale of shit emojis.
And if this is your first time listening, thank you. And what the fuck is wrong with you? And what took so long?
If it is your first time, thank you for joining, and I hope we don't scare you off.
One of us. One of us.
One of us. One of us. And those of you who have been listening, you understand how it works. We do an inverted scale, so instead of 5 being the best, 5 is actually the worst.
Yes.
So this is how we rate. 1 out of 5 is something you're going to keep in your queue. It's going to become a new classic. You're going to want to watch it over and over, and it will bring you hours and hours of endless enjoyment, and something you will definitely want to share with friends and family. 2 out of 5 shit emojis. These are the ones you'll watch only with friends who actually enjoy shitty movies, like our friend Ashley here. Ash Tronomy, excuse me. They're not for everybody, but they are best enjoyed with a group who like to riff or play a drinking game while watching them. 3 out of 5. These you'll at least share with your friends. You can watch it with them if you've got nothing better to do that day. But you both need to prepare to drink heavily while watching.
Yes. It definitely helps.
Yes. 4 out of 5 shit emojis. You will watch it once with friends, and trust me, that will be enough. These are the ones that are so strange, you may not want to watch them more than once, but you at least want to share your misery with your friends, because that's what friends are for.
Yes, indeed.
And 5 out of 5, the worst of the worst, the Fica de la Mater. Only bring these out on special occasions, such as forced double date, in-laws in town,
Oh, yeah.
you have a friend who's crashing your couch but won't fucking leave. When finished, remove it from your memory with a mind-altering substance or some sort of blunt force trauma.
I recommend the Negan bat with the barbed wire.
Yes.
That is
So
my
violent.
favorite.
I recommend the Steve bat with the nails coming out of it from
There
Stranger
you
Things.
go.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Yes, because Steve
Seconded on that
Steve
one.
is my spirit animal.
And your hair icon, I would
And my
imagine,
hair
too.
icon, too.
Yeah,
He's
man.
got great hair.
Great hair, the best
Yeah.
hair.
Okay, well, let's get ready to watch this piece of shit. Y'all ready?
I'm stoked.
You excited?
No.
I'm strapping in for this
how is
garbage.
our guest excited? Oh, I know why you're
Get it
'cause you-
together.
You're burned.
God, get
You've
it
been burned,
together.
James. You're burned.
Burnt. Too
burned.
fucking
It could be
hours.
amazing. We don't know.
If it's amazing, we're not going to...
If it was
Put this
amazing, my
episode
dear,
out.
it would not be on this.
There were
It-
15% saying dope. This was amazing. So
That 15%
just saying.
is full of shit.
Lots of poop
But-
emojis for them.
We might as well get to it and see what happens.
All right.
Let's do it.
Four years ago, The Exorcist shocked the world. Now, the struggle between good and evil goes on. Exorcist II, The Heretic. Richard Burton, Louise Fletcher, Max von Sydow, James Earl Jones. Exorcist II, The Heretic.
I don't understand what made them think this would be a good follow-up to The Exorcist.
My first note is literally, "Oh Lord Jesus, yikes!"
Yeah, it's
That was my first one.
It was awful.
They literally should be horsewhipped for creating this piece of shit. It is such an insult to the original. It's not even funny.
It barely has anything to do with the original in the fact that it has Linda
in no way,
Pazuzu, Father Merrin, and that's it.
Yeah.
And location of the original.
Absolutely.
That's
there
true.
we go.
Then they throw in this side story bullshit with Africa, James Earl Jones, the Kokomo kid,
for no reason whatsoever.
Locust, and a jaguar.
Don't forget expert rock climbing. And,
African rock climbing adventures.
And the Middle Eastern nightclub there, whatever the fuck that was.
So, the movie starts with the new priest, Father Lamont, who is a struggling priest who apparently all these exorcist movies have to have a struggling priest, otherwise
With his own demons.
yes,
Absolutely.
who's not sure of his faith. Why can't there be an exorcist movie where the priest is super strong in his belief?
He's just fully
Going
down with
against-
God, beginning to end.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
So he's been asked by the Vatican to look into the death of Father Lancaster. Thank you. Father Lancaster Merrin, 4 years after he died performing the exorcism of
took them long
Regan.
enough.
Yeah, 4 years.
They operate about the speed of government. They're about the same.
I mean, they kind of are. They're religious government, but
The filibuster of the exorcism.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but before that happened, he was doing an exorcism on a girl somewhere in South America, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think they sent him on. Was it a flashback, or did they actually send him on assignment?
I think he was on
Who the
assignment.
hell
on
knows?
assignment. Yeah,
Who the hell knows? It was
All I
awful.
know is it went wrong and the bitch burned herself up.
yeah. It
That
was.
part I remember, yes.
It was a very sad attempt at an early Raiders of the Lost Ark Nazi face melting scene.
But no face melting.
He sat there and did nothing while she burned. He was a horrible,
give us
horrible
the
priest.
goods.
And it went from a screaming face to a charcoal face with a hard, pathetic.
Well, we said it looked like the Angela face from Sleepaway Camp 1.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly
at
it
the end,
did. Yeah.
when they show her penis.
Fully given the smile. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no penis in this one.
You know, where's the penis? That's what we needed.
I mean, that makes the smile, right?
Could it have saved the movie? Who knows?
Yeah,
It may have.
We're 10 minutes in roughly, and I'm already ready to drown myself in a pool of holy water. Just kill me.
I stopped him from climbing out the window. It was touch and go there for a while.
I was on the way out.
Yeah.
So the whole reason he's been asked by the Vatican to go look into this is because Father Merrin is posthumously facing heresy charges because of his writings regarding the church's lack of acknowledging Satan exists. This is the only place we get the heretic part of the title, The Exorcist II, The Heretic. That's it.
The entire title.
But that's what they wanted to call the subtitle, The Heretic.
Right.
That's the only time we get it. And that's it.
But I guess, because like I said, he was basically the subject of the entire movie in the pursuit of what the hell he actually did.
Yeah, but I mean, they could have called the movie Exorcist II: The African Journey. That's what they should have called it.
Definitely
We
more
spent so much
fitting. Yeah.
Damn time in Africa at this point. I mean, throughout the whole movie.
Or on a soundstage loosely resembling Africa.
Oh yeah, or the African miniature journey. 'Cause
Absolutely,
there's
that
a
was
lot of miniature shots in that one.
Fantastic
Yeah.
work. Yes.
So then we transition to show Regan, played by Linda
Close.
Blair.
So close.
No, Blair. Hamilton's a better actor.
Yeah, she is.
Who is now seemingly normal, and she's staying with her caregiver, who we thought for a while was a nun.
Not a nun.
Turns out it's not a nun.
Nor her mother.
She's the non-nun.
She's non-nun.
She nun.
She ain't none of a nun, okay?
N-O-N-E-N-U-N. Nun.
Absolutely.
She's nun. That's
None of a
nun.
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 No.
And she's going to see a psychiatrist to, I guess, talk about her ordeals that she had with the exorcism.
Yes, her
Yeah.
weirdly sexually charged psychiatrist, but yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's where we're introduced to the synchronizer,
The synchronizer.
which
Fucking dynamite
as-
plunger with 2 damn
Thank you.
Home
Yes.
Depot track lights
Bingo.
attached to it.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. It's a piece of shit. Right now, I'm wallowing in my own hatred for this piece of crap because
He's in fetal
so
position.
far it's just a colostomy bag full of useless dialogue, and they're trying to justify this movie's existence by making constant references to the original, which it holds not even close to a candle to.
Yeah.
It's total shit.
So they call it a revolutionary. You can't see, but I'm doing air quotes.
Air quotes.
Revolutionary biofeedback device used by 2 people to synchronize their brainwaves.
The synchronizer.
Yeah, it's the 1970 version of the Inception drug or whatever they do to put you to sleep to
Totally.
get into the other person's dream.
Yeah.
And in the I guess it was in the first scene that they did it with the priest was there, and all of a sudden the psychiatrist gets trapped.
Yes, they're
in
flashing
Reagan's-
the strobe light.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Yeah, it's pseudoscience fun
and
with epilepsy
she
doctor.
gets trapped in Reagan's thoughts or memories, some shit like that, and then the priest decides he can go in and help her, but by going in, he's able to glimpse a past of when Reagan was possessed. We get our first cameo by Max von Sydow, and it turns into the scene of Linda Blair and the fake Linda Blair Reagan possessed person.
Oh, so bad. So bad.
Holding hands, massaging the psychiatrist's breasts.
Yes, I'm literally speechless right now.
You
Yeah,
heard that right,
I
folks.
just-
Yeah.
The psychologist's breast. That's
Yes, the
exactly correct.
breast.
Uh-huh.
And then it transitions to what was it? A Kali Ma.
The Kali
Kalima.
Ma, the
Yeah.
Kali Ma
Kalima.
heart removal ceremony,
She's trying
made
to-
famous by Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom.
Yes.
If anybody's unfamiliar with that.
And if you
Arguably
are
the best Indiana Jones.
then
Just saying.
we'll leave that for off air. So yeah, but at this and then after that, the priest comes back to be hooked up to Reagan on the synchronizer again, and that's when he glimpses somehow Father Merrin's past in Africa,
It
coming
could-
across
Which makes perfect
Pazuzu,
sense.
Yeah.
and a young boy called Kukumo,
Pazuzu.
Kokomo, Kokomo,
Kokomo.
who's fighting locusts.
Yeah, man, there's Grand Canyon-sized plot holes all throughout this thing. It's ridiculous.
And he becomes possessed, and I think the whole reason they had this stupid thing was because the demon revealed its name through the kid, and that's the first time you hear about the demon's name.
Pazuzu.
And as they
Yeah,
say-
because it was young Darth Vader out there trying to run the crickets off with a damn with a string and a rock,
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
and he failed. He got possessed.
He got possessed. That's right. Yeah,
So yeah, then that's how they.
And
I think
then
then through the mind meld.
and then the possessed young Vader revealed not Hayden Christensen. Okay, young
Don't
James
get
Earl
confused.
Jones, yeah.
James
Good
Earl
Vader.
Jones.
James
Yeah.
Earl Vader.
He's
The legit Vader.
But instead of saying "I am Pazuzu," he says. And so, since Father Lamont now knows the name of the demon, he can track it down. Apparently, because if you need to know the name of the demon in
Know
order
thy
to
name.
have power to.
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah,
that's
you
a little
power
side
over
note.
him.
Once you get the demon's name out of the individual, you have the power over them to run the mouth. If I'm not
Exactly.
mistaken.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then
I learned that from Anthony Hopkins, by the way.
Ah. And the
Was
first
that-
movie, they mentioned that in the first one too.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that was the whole thing. They were trying to get the demon's name from Reagan
Yeah.
when she was possessed.
No, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about Anthony Hopkins. Whole different movie.
Yeah, I know that
Because
movie.
I'm drifting here.
That movie was shit too.
I'm
so.
trying to focus.
Yeah. You're talking about the right?
Ball, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
a shit
yeah.
movie too.
Yeah, it was
horrible.
pretty crap.
That's what we should have done. We should have okay. After this, we're gonna rate all the exorcism movies worst, best to worst. Not
Nice.
Exorcist,
All
but
of them that-
exorcism.
yeah, have exorcisms
Emily
inside of
Rose,
them.
the ride, all that bullshit.
Did you like Emily Rose?
That was alright.
Yeah.
It was- the courtroom scene was the Law and Order part was terrible.
Yeah.
The Jennifer Carpenter doing all the contortioning was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was pretty neat. Yeah.
Just visually, anyway.
Yeah. But the Law and Order part, I was like, I can do without this bullshit.
You forgot the opening of this film, which was just 24 minutes of garbage church speak, meandering with zero plot progress.
I forgot it on purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. What was I thinking?
24 minutes
Yeah.
is way too long for church
Absolutely.
speak. I mean, especially when it's meandering like yeah, because that's the whole scene where Father Lamont is being told by the cardinal he has to go investigate Father Merrin's bullshit or whatever. I mean, who wants to spend that much time watching the Pope get undressed?
Not I, sir.
Not I.
Not I.
No.
Kiss the ring.
No.
For the next 12 minutes.
So we get a scene of Regan talking to some girl who's supposedly autistic and can't speak, and then she uses her demon powers to make the child speak.
Which, I'm sorry, but this girl wasn't autistic. She just stuttered.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
It was a stutter. Your parents are lying to you.
Yes.
But this is
Seek help elsewhere.
77. They're still using lead paint in houses at this point.
That's true.
So
but
we're not very far along.
You know.
It was bad.
Yeah. Yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. What else happened?
Not a whole lot, man. Not a whole lot.
Yeah. So there's a whole long part in the middle where like the
there's a literal 30 minutes of nothing.
There's
for
more
one
than
thing.
that.
Yeah.
Like the priest is trying to figure out where he can find Kokomo.
Kokumo. Kokumo.
Kokumo.
Kokumo.
Kokumo. Kokumo.
Kokomo? Non, je connais pas un certain Kokomo dans ce village.
Kokumo. Kokumo.
Because the kid survived.
To get there fast and then take it slow.
There was this whole scene where he's like, I don't know if he's reaching into Regan's memories, but he's flying through the fucking all of Africa apparently to get to see where Kokomo was.
I love it, Kokomo.
It's Kokomo, sorry.
Kokumo.
Kokumo. Kokumo.
Kokumo.
Kokumo.
Kokumo. Kokumo.
Kokomo? Non, je connais pas un certain Kokomo dans ce village.
Kokumo. Kokumo.
Kokomo, thank you.
Same basic.
No, that's
principle.
okay. I don't give a shit. Kokomo works for me.
So because he's alive, so he's trying to find out where he's at, and so they end up in this weird village, and all the people are running away from this quote unquote demon or whatever, and we come upon this hut, and James Earl Jones walks out in this fucking like leather leopard hat or some bullshit, and then he growls at the camera. And Father
With a jump cut.
Yeah, and Father Lamont's like, I need to find Kokomo. He's scared the demon away.
I was waiting for him to pull out his bow and snakes and do that.
You talking about Conan now?
I'm all over the place, but I'm trying to do something to make this at least somewhat entertaining.
Is James Earl Jones' Snake King in Conan worse than this Locust King in Exorcist II?
I don't think
Negative.
he could get worse
I think
than
the
this,
Snake King was pretty good.
Really?
This takes the
In
cake
comparison
here.
to this shit,
But that whole transformation into the snake was absolutely horrible.
Of course it was, but so what?
This beats it.
This beats it? Okay.
This was the director beating it off to himself, going, "I'm so irreverent and esoterically clever. Look at my amazing scenes that I'm coming up with," and it was nothing more than that.
No, it wasn't
Nothing
even
at
that.
all.
It wasn't even in that. It was just no.
And he was wrong because it's
Yeah.
garbage.
Yes.
It is a wet, hot dumpster fire of a movie. Nobody should watch it.
No. But we did.
But we did.
But
we
we
did.
did.
Damn it.
We did.
We spent our lives watching this. It felt like.
This tested my friendship. I was almost out of here. I was going to choke Chris and walk the fuck out.
Bonds were
But
tested.
I'm kidding.
We came out on the
we've
other
seen,
side.
We have seen worse, but this is pretty low to the bottom. I'm tell you what.
Thanks, guys, for bringing me in for this fun.
You're welcome.
And you know what's really sad is that between the end of the scene where you see James Earl Jones turn into a leopard, and then
It's so ridiculous. Go on. Do go on.
the beginning of the scene where they start to go to the house in Georgetown, which is the final act of the movie. There's a good hour and 20 minutes of shit that happens that I don't fucking remember.
For no reason whatsoever.
I don't remember. Like
The only thing, there's a little one small detail. I don't want to let it get by, but
Go
it
ahead.
happened in this hour and a half of numbness. Was the cricket suit? Darth. He was a panther at one point or whatever the fuck, but then he walks in there and sees this giant ass cricket
Yeah,
Cricket.
I do love that
or
scene.
locust suit.
So he's finally gone to Africa. He's finally tracked down where the hell Now, there's some other scenes where he's in Africa and he's being stoned, but it doesn't really matter because it's such a bullshit scene.
There's drug use of some kind, yeah.
But he finally tracks down Kukumo, and it's a dumbass name, Kukumo.
Kokumo. Kokumo. Kokumo.
Kokumo.
Kokumo.
Kokumo.
And he tracks him down in this little tiny tunnel, and in order to get to him, there's like this little lake where the spikes sticking up. And as he walks into the room, you see someone sitting on the throne, and it looks like a cricket costume.
That's right.
Oh, it is a full-on cricket costume.
Yeah,
and it was almost like he must face the 3 tests: the breath of God, the word of God. Only in the path shall he proceed.
Only the penitent
and
man shall pass.
Right.
Yeah,
And finally, and only in the leap from the lion's head shall he prove his worth.
yeah, and he
That kind of shit.
This costume is amazing. this cricket costume. I want a cricket costume like that.
I mean, now you have to.
I think the black of the eyes was just all like bedazzled stones, but that's pretty fucking awesome.
Just so you're all aware and you're following this, it's a legitimate cricket costume. Like, think
Yeah.
the Tick, only with bedazzled jewelry.
with bedazzled,
'cause
yeah,
it's the 70s.
and made by
you
an
know?
African because it was definitely made of like
Absolutely.
straw and shit.
We can't forget that. That's correct.
He's sitting there on the throne in this thing, dead fucking serious, like he's the man. Like, I am the
Come to my
king.
cricket.
The king
That's
wears
right.
this. I look like a badass. Nobody messes with the cricket boy.
Can't touch this
It's like
cricket.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm
Cricket.
Hopper.
Cricket.
I'm fucking Hopper, bitch.
So you-
That's right.
Recognize.
You know what it reminds me of? So it's
Bug's
like
Life.
it's like their version of Hercules, where instead of slaying the Nemean lion and wearing his scalp as a trophy, he slayed the African locust and is wearing his scalp as a
But just the
trophy.
one.
Just
Okay.
the one.
Just the one.
Side note, folks, do you realize we are speaking about I think about every other movie that's been made except the one
Except for this
the one we're supposed to be
garbage.
reviewing. And there's a good reason for that. Please proceed.
So then through some talking bullshit, James Earl Jones Cricket tells the father that he has to
James Earl Cricket.
James Earl Cricket. James Earl Locust tells the father that he has to walk across the spiked water in order to get to him. And
Like you do.
for some reason, I guess in order to show the father that it's actually spikes, he spits out a cherry tomato of his mouth and it falls and lands on a spike, showing that it's actual spikes.
I thought that was more of his, like, look at my prowess. Bet you I can't aim for this
I
spike
don't-
here.
I
Paching!
didn't
You
know
know?
they had cherry tomatoes in Africa, so I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I didn't know they had fucking cliff faces
I
there
don't
like that
know.
either, but
This is supposed to be Ethiopia, by the way. I thought Ethiopia was
Oh,
flatland,
okay.
but
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
maybe-
prairies.
I don't know my geography, so
you
I have no
know,
idea.
whatever.
And so he goes to step on the water, the spikes, and it goes right through his foot, and then he falls forward, and then when he hits the ground, he lands in an office, and we see James Earl Jones is now in a scientist suit outfit with a lab coat and glasses, and he's like,
And a haircut.
"Can I help you? How you doing in here? Welcome to my lab. I'm Kokomo." And he's this uptight scientist doing studies on locusts. How the hell? What kind of drugs is his father taking to go from seeing a man in a cricket outfit, falling, and all of a sudden landing in a laboratory?
This was just one really bad ayahuasca trip. That's
I-
why we can't follow it.
Well,
It
maybe-
all makes sense now.
So you have to be on ayahuasca to enjoy this.
Absolutely.
To understand this movie. I don't know about enjoy it,
Absolutely.
but to
Then it
understand
will be deep and meaningful.
I think I need 2 ounces of blue from Breaking Bad.
I think I need some
The blue ice.
some good
Help-
strong whiskey.
Help me load.
So, but then we get the final scene, which is the only scene that has action and or some element of horror, because we get both the father and Regan are heading to the house.
No, I refuse to give it any credit whatsoever. I shall sit here and protest.
I'm going to second that. That's a hard
Anyway, welcome
hard
to my
yes.
show. Welcome to the Suck featuring me, Chris, the only host.
Featuring only Chris.
Don't listen to them; they're not fucking talking.
Yeah. Well, that's
He's going to cut our mics off. We're in trouble.
I'm proceeding under protest that this is a horror movie.
And you're fucking hippie protesting everything. And then we get the psychiatrist and the non-nun.
The non-nun
heading to the house as well. And once they get there, I don't know what happens, but
How did the car crash happen?
so right when the father and Regan got into the house, they went to open the door to Regan's bedroom where the exorcism took place. When they opened the door, all these locusts came out of it, and they were attacking the father. At the same time, for some reason, the car that they were being driven in, because they weren't driving, they were being driven. I think it was a taxi or whatever.
Yeah.
Just started spinning out of control.
Okay.
For no reason.
So like yet another Vulcan mind meld with a totally unrelated person.
I'm getting a side view here. What, babe?
Uh-oh.
The windshield busted.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so the windshield busted.
By a locust?
It didn't show.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Magic Vulcan mind melded locust.
Somebody get that
Got
one
it.
on microphone.
Got it.
My wife is here in the background because she micromanages. That's right.
And she suffered about the last 45 minutes of it with us, I believe.
For those of you that listened to the last episode when she was in, she actually pays attention to this shit. So she's back there telling us what the fuck happened because we have no idea.
We appreciate your service. We appreciate your service so much.
Oh, I love it.
So the windshield just crashes, breaks, right? I mean, shatters completely. The thing that was also missed was that at some point the driver punches through the window so you can see what's going on. But the car's going crazy. It crashed through the gate of the house. I mean, it crashes hard. The driver's all fucked up. He's probably dead.
Dude's dead for sure.
The non-nun, I keep saying her name wrong.
Get it together, Chris.
I know. It's hard to say.
Non-nun. It's a nun.
Gets out of the car and walks around while the psychiatrist is saying, help me, whatever. And this bitch is like, she's lost it. I don't know if she's possessed by Pazuzu.
Help yourself.
Yeah. And she's just standing there looking at her like, oh. All the while, they upstairs, Father Lamont and Regan go into the room and are suddenly confronted with another version of Regan possessed by the demon.
Right.
But it is so bad. The makeup looks like my makeup when I was a 5th grade vampire.
For sure.
It looked
junior high kids did their makeup. Yeah,
it's Spirit Halloween.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makeup. It is so bad.
I was gonna say, how bad was it?
It is so bad. Nowhere
they were learning,
near
the SFX team. No big deal.
They had a whole movie before that to learn from. They could have asked the special effects from the last movie.
They had to get the budget people. You know, they blew all their money on the Pope wardrobe.
Speaking of which, this movie was $14 million in budget. Okay, that went to Locust, James Earl Jones, Max von Sydow,
more Locust,
the 5-minute Ned Beatty cameo,
absolutely,
and the Pope hat,
and the Pope hat,
and the Pope ring,
and the Pope ring,
and yet more Locust.
They had no.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they had no other money for anything else.
Oh boy.
And Max von Sydow and James Earl Locust were in it for about 10 minutes each.
So they definitely got like their director's nephew to come in and do the FX makeup.
Yeah,
I feel like that's where nepotism.
They went to. It's like when you go to a barber college to get your haircut for free.
Exactly right.
Or a dentist college to get your teeth done for free.
You can get it for free. They're learning. They're learning.
Is there anybody have a vial of hemlock? I need to end this.
Stop this now.
So there's this whole huge scene where like Regan. Well, okay, so then the Regan in the room. That's the possessed Regan. Her face goes to from the first movie, but then it goes back to her normal face. But then she still has those bad contacts on, and she's trying to seduce
with the low cut damn nightgown on. She leans back with a seductive look. And you're like,
she's like,
oh,
come
Lord.
Here, Father.
So first of all, this is like a
60-year-old
man and a 16-year-old woman.
Yeah, a 16-year-old Linda Blair seducing an old man.
Yeah. And he somehow falls for it, and he goes over there, and then he starts necking on her, which is disgusting.
Give me some of that, yeah.
And then she tells him to kill the other Regan, the good Regan.
Kill that bitch, kill her.
And so, and quite ineffectively, he decides the best way to kill her is to grab her by the shoulders and just repeatedly bang her against a closet.
Louise, Louise, they're brushing me. Louise, they're brushing me. I must.
Multiple times. Not choke
Some
her.
assassin there.
Not throw her ass out the same window that Father Karras went out. But just
too rational for this film.
Kill her via shaken baby syndrome.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. And so then we go back outside and we see the damn psychiatrist is still stuck in the car. The nun is standing there, and
helping
we hear
in no way.
We hear this sound of like running water, and the psychiatrist got out of the car, but she's trying to get the nun or whatever to come with her because she's just standing there staring. We get this sound of running water, and we all look at her like, oh my gosh, she's peeing. She's peeing herself.
She's peeing.
Which is a reference to the first one.
We're harkening back.
Right.
A little bit of
Right. But then we get a shot of, it's not her peeing, it's the fuel line is leaking out.
Of
I'm
course.
Like, oh, well, that's disappointment.
Well,
Yeah.
I wonder what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
She's not peeing, the car's peeing.
Yeah.
And so then we cut back to
Optimus Prime.
Yeah, Optimus Prime is
exactly right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe it was a
maybe.
truck, but whatever. Well, that's neither here nor there. So then, all of a sudden, the house starts to like tear apart.
Yeah, it goes full on like Order of the Phoenix and just kind of crumbles out from itself.
Just opens up and the floor opens up, and something happened. Regan had gotten through to Father Lamont that he needs to kill the other Regan, so he goes and starts choking the sexy Regan. And...
Sexy Regan.
Sorry, I take it back.
Edit, 16-year-old sexy Regan.
The
Continue.
slutty Regan.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Slutty Regan.
Yeah,
there you
because
go.
there's slutty Regan and good Regan. Yeah. So he goes attacking the slutty Regan, and then the bed falls through the thing, and she rolls downstairs past the good Regan.
Asterisk. Stairs.
Literally
The
down the
Exorcist.
stairs.
Down the stairs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And
Not backwards.
Then the locusts come in.
Oh, Lord, I'm halfway down now. Help me, Lord.
Meanwhile, you get the acting from Linda Blair at this time, like she's ordering Chinese food.
Oh my
I am
God.
possessed by a demon.
Okay, so who had worse
I'll take
acting?
a number 9. It was
Her
awful.
Or the psychiatrist?
That's that's a toss
The
up there.
psychiatrist had the worst ADR the entire
Oh, it was terrible.
movie. It's almost like what was it? The Vigo from Ghostbusters 2, where he was
Totally.
so bad
Yes.
that, speaking of a connection, he was so bad that Max von Sydow did the voice for Vigo in Ghostbusters 2. There's a connection.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. But instead of getting a good voice actor to do her ADR, they ADR'd her with her own voice,
Yeah,
which makes no
terribly,
sense. It was
slowly,
absolutely terrible.
painfully monotone.
And so then we go back outside, and all of a sudden the nun steps on a headlight that's near the fuel line and catches stuff on fire, and nobody gives a shit about that. We go back inside, and
Total surprise.
the locusts have arrived for some fucking reason. They came all the way from Africa
And
to
boy, have they
Washington D.C.
arrived.
Yeah.
No. They paid $2.5 million for these fucking locusts, so they're going to use them as much as
Yeah.
they can.
I guess.
So
And
they can fly over
so, yeah.
miniatures.
So they're inside the house. They're surrounding everybody, and Linda or Regan decides that I need to do that arm rolling bullshit that Kukumo did at the
With
beginning.
nothing in her
with nothing in
arm.
her hand.
Mhm.
Yeah, and she does it, and somehow is able to get the locust to die, and then they disappear, which I guess signifies that Pazuzu has been defeated. Maybe.
I mean, I feel like they were just really offended by interpretive dance.
You
know what I'm saying? Like,
that was.
I feel like that was
I
what
was
we were
offended by
supposed to.
interpretive
I
dance.
mean,
That was-
yeah.
that was terrible.
Yeah,
And there was tap dancing too. I mean,
I would fucking
shit.
leave
yeah, we
or
forgot about
fly
the
into
tap
the
Forgot about
fire.
the tap dance.
The tap dancing scene. We forgot about that bullshit.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, that happened during
Oh,
the whole
darn.
the whole stoning of Father Lamont when she was having some sort of connection and she was doing some stupid what's it called
And there's no
tap
reason
dance.
for
Yeah.
it. There was no lead into why
Absolutely
she would
zero.
even be doing it.
Yeah.
It was useless.
I mean, really, they're just filling time.
Yeah.
It was essentially like the studio's given us exactly these 100 and whatever minutes. We gotta fill
120
it.
minutes we gotta fill.
Linda
with-
Blair can tap dance, guys.
She can't
Let's
act,
do
but she can
something
tap
with that.
dance. Yeah.
Let's get her next job.
And then Regan and the father leave while the psychiatrist stays behind to answer for what happened in the house, and that's the end of the movie.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, somebody put this pin through my thorax, please.
Okay,
It's
so
just, jeez.
so since he's in so much pain, we're gonna go with James first. James, let's hear your review.
I'm going straight to the acting blew. The story, if it was properly executed, would have been good. I see, the whole studying the past, trying to figure out what.
No.
Hey, 5 turds. Fuck
Five
this movie.
turds.
Yeah.
Worst of the worst.
Fuck this movie.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I really don't have much else to say about it. There was
But fuck this
zero fucking horror in this movie.
Okay.
Yet again. Yeah, the fires were about the most of the horror.
Okay.
The Darth Maul at the end when she
Yeah.
got herself French fried, and at the beginning that bullshit scene we saw with the fake ass smile and the Nazi melting and all that
Oh yeah,
shit.
yeah.
The lack of
Other
Nazi
than that,
melting. Yeah.
literally no horror whatsoever.
No, none at all.
Pure a sad attempt at psychological thriller here was all this was.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Just trying to be a mind fuck, trying to do all this.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Next. I'm done.
Oh,
All right, let's go with our guest then.
Well,
Ash Tronomy.
Yes, absolutely. It was completely and utterly irredeemable. It was an absolute, I'll echo my earlier sentiments, an absolute wet-hot dumpster fire of a film. Do not waste your time. There are so many turds, but I can only give it 5. So
Only
5.
So 5 turds,
I will bequeath
huh?
unto it, yes.
Wow, okay.
Absolutely.
All right, well.
5 indeed.
I definitely agree that it is pretty horrible. It's especially considering the movie that it follows, which is a masterpiece. If there was a map or a plot of how to take every single wrong fucking turn you could to make a sequel, they followed it.
Absolutely.
They can write the book on it.
Yeah.
Saying that, I think it's fucking fascinating as to how bad it is.
Yeah.
It was unbelievably bad, and the fact that the first one was actually based on real events, and the second one was just a total
cash grab.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Let's try to pull off some kind of bullshit and make some bucks off of it, and nurse off the first movie.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. It's complete bullshit.
I mean, the
Fuck
acting.
this movie.
The acting was bad. The ADR was bad. I mean, everything. I mean, the special effects were pretty terrible. James Earl Jones, no matter what line he says, no matter how bad it is, his voice makes it better.
Right.
Yeah.
And he did. I think this movie is best to watch immediately after watching the first one.
What?
Yes. I think
What?
that people who are fans of horror films, listen, hear me out. People who are fans of horror film need to watch these 2 movies back to back, 1 and 2 back to back, because 1, you get all of the brilliant directing, the acting, the special effects, everything. You can see the marvel that it is. 2, you watch the second one afterwards to see where the fuck they went wrong.
Oh yeah.
You go from being amazed to being like confounded.
Yeah.
And it's such, they're literally the 2 different sides of the same coin.
Right.
No man, that's 100-grain sandpaper glove, fucking prostological exam.
Yeah.
I mean, just no, thank you.
But I think I'm gonna go 3 on this.
Wow.
Holy shit!
I think this movie, it's bad.
Conservative
it's slow.
palate. Okay.
It's slow, but I think it needs to be watched because of it just blows my mind at how off they went script-wise with everything. Not just the script itself, but like the story itself.
Yeah, and that point I would get. Basically,
Yeah.
you're saying watch the masterpiece and then watch what the fuck they did.
I would never watch this by itself like we did.
Yeah, no, hell no.
I would watch this. I can almost see this being shown in film class after
What
the
not to
first
do.
one of what not to do. Watch the first one film class to show how a masterpiece is made. Then watch the second one right afterward to see how not to follow it up or how not to make a movie following a masterpiece.
Yeah,
I see where you're going there.
This is probably in the horror genre, probably the biggest insult of any sequel I've ever seen. I've seen lots of sequels that sucked, but this one was a blatant, fart in the face of the original.
Yeah.
It was a shitfest. I'm going to respectfully, vehemently disagree with the fact that anyone should ever waste their time watching this film.
Okay.
Watch the first one. Masterpiece. Fantastic.
Yeah.
End it there. Don't waste your time. It was absolutely god-awful. But, sure. Totally.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I'm going 3. I'm going 3 on
Going
this
3?
motherfucker.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, all right. Well, Ashley, thank you so much for coming, joining
You are
us.
so
it was
welcome.
so much fun.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks again for creating the wonderful artwork for our podcast.
You can't see me, but I'm curtsying. Mm-hmm.
You are, thank you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And if you won't mind, tell the folks at home where they can follow you, where they can find your art and your photography and everything, and all the places they can come stalk you.
Thank you so very much. You can find me on www.thebellarush.com, as well as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all the other platforms at The Bella Rush. Thank you so very much.
All right, thank you. And James?
Yeah, it's great having you. We appreciate it. A lot of fun. Once again, somebody too smart in the room for both of us.
Oh, I know.
It was Kristen.
I think we got it. We need to start having females as guests because you're just way smarter than
We're
us.
upping your game, sirs. Yeah.
You're bringing unnecessary class to our podcast.
That's my bad. That's
but
on me.
You know what?
Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We'll take that because we're about to go downhill again when Joe comes in on Monday.
And not just because Joe's a male, but because he has liquor, so we're just gonna go downhill anyway.
I see.
He brings booze.
So definitely tune in all to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, James, where can they find us? You mean,
right. I'm pushing the brains back into my ears. Give me just a second. Actually, they can find us on. We are on that.
Try it again. Take
one more
two.
All
All right.
got it. They can find us on anchor.fm/What the Suck podcast. And from there, you can pretty much find us on any other platform. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, pretty much everywhere now.
Yep.
You can also find us on Facebook. And we are on Twitter and Instagram. Instagram is probably our best social media platform.
We're
It's
most
our
active there.
Most active. But you can find us at either three under What the Suck podcast. If you do search Twitter or Instagram, put the underscores between the words, and it'll come up faster.
And if they want to follow you, James, see all your wonderful adventures on vacation, where can they follow you?
They ain't gonna follow me. Fuck you.
They ain't gonna
Nah,
follow
Oh,
you.
they're following.
Yeah.
They're following.
I am on Facebook as well. James E. Bishop III. You'll see my profile picture standing next to a loitering sign. And I'm also on Instagram under James Bishop III. That's
All right.
for the third. Because the three was already taken. Fuckers.
Yes.
So all of you stalk James.
Dog
Enjoy
James,
that.
go follow him.
Absolutely.
See all his cool pictures.
Definitely.
And, all his
And
vacation
send me a
pictures.
message if you send me a friend request, because if I get a friend request from somebody who I have no mutual friends with, I usually ignore those.
Yeah, because a lot of times there's
Because
a
a lot
lot
of
of
times they're
spam
fake
going
accounts.
around.
Yeah,
There's
for
a lot of
sure.
spam going around.
So please let me know if you want to follow me, and I will definitely accept your friendship, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, guys, and don't forget, please go on to Apple Podcasts and rate and review. We need reviews, we need ratings. Go to whatever other podcast host you use and submit a rating and review. Click that subscribe button.
Absolutely.
And remember, they're in stars and not turd emojis.
Yeah.
So it's the regular way.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
so you're all aware.
So don't give us one star
No,
thinking
not a
that
one
it's really
star.
good. That means they're really shitty. I mean,
There you go.
unless you really want to give us one star. You know what? Fuck
You
it. If you want
don't.
to give us one
You
star,
don't
give us
want to
one
do
star.
that.
At least we have a star.
At least we got
At least
something.
we'll have a star.
We're all 5 stars, baby.
Yeah. You know, and again, on anchor.fm, if you go to the website /pod what the suck, you can leave us a voice message there if you want to tell us you like a particular episode, or if you want to recommend something, you can click it and leave us a voice message, and we'll get it and maybe even play it on the air. So,
Or like I said, if you like the movies we review, watch them yourselves and leave an actual, leave a short review underneath, comment underneath the post or something like that.
Tell us why we're wrong.
We love getting recommendations. We had one for our Halloween special. We just got another recommendation recently, so we are going to take all your recommendations and put them on our list, and we'll get to them at some point. But please keep them coming.
That's right.
All right, guys. Well, this was a lot of fun. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Great time.
Yes, sir. I am Chris, and I will see you at the next Suckfest.
Yeah, and this is James, and if it ain't on What the Suck, it ain't shit.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
Peace.
You've been listening to a Fourth Hand Joint.